Three, two, one. And we're live. We're live. Are we live? Am I live for you? I'm live for me. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Fabulites. This is Angela with another edition of Notes on the News, where I share with you headlines from my news feed that I personally selected, articles that I found interesting for whatever reason. And I also share with you thoughts, ideas, and perspectives on the article, the subject matter at large, your comments, or whatever happens to come up. Or maybe I don't share any comments on the articles or the headlines. I don't know. But it's not news, it's just my notes on the news. The channel is Be Fabulous You. I think I said I'm Angela. Like, share, comment, subscribe. We're working on 1,000 new subscribers. Yay! All right. So, usually we start off these days with one of the Nguzo Saba. We just loop through them. It's 7 of them. We loop through. So, yesterday we did Kuji Chagalia. Today we're doing Habaragani. That means what's the word for today? Habaragani? Habaragani. Ujima. Collective work and responsibility. Ujima. To build and maintain our community together, to make our brothers and sisters' problems our problems, and to solve them together. Collective work and responsibility reminds us of our obligation to the past, present, and future, and that we have a role to play in the community, society, and world. Okay. So what you doing today to build and maintain your community? What you doing today to support your brothers and sisters, your sisters and brothers, your peoples? Hmm? What role do you feel that you have? What obligation do you feel that you have to the past, to the present, to the future? Ujima. Collective work and responsibility. All right, now we usually go on to the Buddha and see what the Buddha has to say to us. What the daily, is it the daily words of the Buddha? Hmm. I didn't get any words from the Buddha today. Well, we gonna find some words from the Buddha. Hold on 1 second. Un momento, por favor. Hey, how are you? I was trying to pull up some words of the Buddha. For some reason, I didn't get any today. I think I get them every day. Yep, daily. Well, I'm sure I have one that I didn't do. So we gonna find it. What's new and good with you? What's new and good with you? I meant to put on my theme music at the beginning. It's so fancy. Can I play this and search at the same time? I don't think so. Okay, we gonna find some. We is going to find some. Yes, we is. Oh, all right. Thank you for the light. Easy to do are the things that are bad and harmful to oneself, but exceedingly difficult to do are things that are good and beneficial. I don't know. Maybe I guess getting started with doing stuff that's good for you is difficult. I don't know. That's an interesting statement. I don't know if I agree with that. Easy to do are things that are bad and hurtful to yourself. We just be out here hurting ourselves according to this. But exceedingly difficult to do are things that are good and beneficial. Well, easy or hard today in all days, may we do what is good and beneficial. Can y'all see? Oh, you can see the smoke a little bit. I guess it's going. In this small little space, I got two going. That's a lot. Okay. But it's one of my favorites, Peace of Mind. What is that brand? Berry, something, Wild Berry. I used to sell incense, so I have a whole bunch of incense. I probably still do sell incense. I just haven't, since I relocated, I've been on a whole different thing. So yeah, I got a whole bunch of wild berries and peace of mind. Peace of mind used to be one of my favorites. I like the way it smells, but I like what it says. But who, who don't love peace of mind? Everybody love peace of mind. Okay, let us proceed. Let us proceed. Let us proceed. Starbucks invites Common to take part in their racial bias training. And now I have concerns. That's what the headline says. I had concerns from the beginning. Hey, love like the sun. Still waiting for school. Still waiting for school. To start. Oh, because you're bored. Is that what you? Okay. So, now this article was interesting because some of the stuff that they were saying about Common, first of all, I thought it was very well written, and I thought it was going to be by this other author, but it wasn't. But some of the stuff that they were saying about Common, I was kind of like, oh, like I guess he's kind of got this, can't we all just get along type mentality. Like, we just want to reach out and be your friends. And I'm like, we ain't the problem. We don't need to do the reaching out and being of the friends. We ain't been out here just being vile and violent and violating. Last month, the coffee chain dominated the headlines, blah, 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 blah. While I appreciate the initiative to make things right, I didn't appreciate the initiative to have the racial, the whatever they called it. First of all, it's not an all day thing. I think they say it starts at 1 or 2. And so it's sort of like they don't even know. No, it's not you. Yesterday, something happened and my live stream just totally cut off Love Like the Sun. And then when I came back, Iapo and maybe somebody else was saying that everything was flipped around. And even when I put my card up yesterday, it was flipped around. So I don't know if I did something. I don't know how to undo it. So, yeah. Mute microphone, share. Yeah. It's not you. And it's probably very disorienting. It looks exactly the same to me, but yeah, sorry. Okay. So it's not mandatory. They, as of today, they didn't even know what time it was starting. Oh, it starts at 1 or 2. So it's sort of like and then they have Common coming. Why they have Common coming? For what? They said in the preview Starbucks shared with reporters, they revealed that Common is going to appear. Common, that's who y'all recruited for this epic undertaking. The same Common who sang Glory one too many times and said black people should extend a hand to white people and forget about the past as it pertains to race relations. Nah, bruh, that can't be. Try again. I love how they write. For those who have missed this now infamous soundbite, yeah, I'm sitting in the same spot as usual. The only thing is today I have incense going, but it's something that happened yesterday. And usually if I drop off a live stream, I can just pick it up. But when I went to pick it up, there was nothing to pick up and I had to actually come back in fresh. So I don't know. Maybe YouTube changed. I don't know what happened. Um Soundbite from the formerly conscious rapper turned Hollywood socialite. If we've been bullied, we've been beat down, and we don't want it anymore. We are not extending a fist, and we are not saying you did us wrong. It's more like, hey, I'm extending my hand in love. Let's forget about the past as much as we can, and let's move from where we are now. How can we help each other? Can you try to help us? Because we're going to try to help ourselves too. That just sounds so foolish. That just sounds so foolish. I'm not familiar with this quote from Common, but it sounds really, really unsophisticated and foolish. It sounds foolish. Anyone who still thinks we can hug our way out of racism is painfully out of touch with this topic. My arms are far too short to reach them. I think this little writer is very funny. Yeah, so anyway, yeah, it's a cute little well, and then they talk about it's not about the bathroom, like, saying, oh, anybody can use the bathroom, even if you're not a customer, black people, because we know you come in and you're never customers, but you too can use the bathroom because we want to get along and we want to help you out because you don't have $2. I don't even know why I spent however much time I spent talking about it. Carrot hot dogs are here for barbecue season, and people already hate them. Now, I saw a recipe for carrot hot dogs probably about 4 or 5 years ago. I've never tried them, but veggie dogs used to be one of my favorite things at a barbecue. Whenever I go, when you go to the people's house and everybody has, food to eat, and then they're like, "Oh, here's a piece of grass for you. We thought about you." And so I started bringing like that processed play meat to events so I could be a part of the excitement and the joy. But it's so processed. I don't really like to, so I haven't done it for a long, long time. I just more or less stay away from it. But I did see a recipe for carrot hot dogs, but I've just never done it. But these people are just offended and upset that anybody would eat carrots instead of, meat and nitrates. Not me, but that's basically the point of the article. But anyway, just seeing it, I'm like, yeah, when I saw the recipe, I could kind of taste it in my head. And I'm like, because I love a hot dog with barbecue sauce. That was like my standby for a barbecue. And it was just like always, whenever I went to a barbecue, that's what I always wanted. And it always tasted good. So that's something like, it's kind of like there's a nostalgia with, so I don't even really go to those events anymore because they're not really for me. Like what is it, Memorial Day? What am I memorializing? Black tourists forced out of KFC in Berlin over racist incident. Now they're the ones facing charges. This is coming off of the Atlanta Black Star. So it's sort of like, throughout the world, it seems to be the same or a very similar conversation. Same or very similar conversation. So black folks, getting it all over. Black folks are giving it all over too, and black folks are waking up all over too. In 2 weeks, San Francisco will ban any companies renting out shared dockless scooters unless they have a permit. So we were talking about the fact that in other parts of the world, I didn't know it was here, but in other parts of the world, I had read that there were like a lot of dockless bikes that you could rent, or scooters that you could rent. And then when you don't have to like here in Detroit, there are like places where you can pick them up and you have to drop them off at an official place. But these dockless bikes, you just pick them up wherever you find one, and then you drop it off wherever, and they have a system for calculating exactly how much time you know exactly how far you went or whatever. So I'm like, wow, I don't even get the concept. I've never rented one of those docked bikes, but I see people who use them all the time. But in 2 weeks, San Francisco is going to ban any companies renting out shared dockless scooters unless they have a permit. So I guess it's a lot of companies that have just jumped up. They see the opportunity and they hadn't been permitted. And now San Francisco is like, jumping down on them, clamping down on them, clamping down. And I just feel like, why don't you worry about your housing? I'm just joking. I mean, you can chew bubble gum and walk at the same time. Dockless bikes sound great, right? You can take it to exactly where you're going. Yeah. And then also, I guess with my bike, if I'm riding my bike, I have to tie it up and be worried about somebody stealing it, and you know what I mean? But this you don't. Or if I ride my bike someplace and then somebody picks me up, or I'm meeting somebody, you could have a little more flexibility. Tragic tale. Great until someone docks the bike in their basement. Well, I think it has some sort of GPS system on it. Like that's how they're tracking what's going on with it, but I'm not really clear. But I did read something that explained it, and I was like, oh, but I didn't retain it. I just skimmed something. I didn't retain it. Tragic tale of nursing mother's snake bite. A snake bit her. Shocks India. And the baby got sick, or maybe even made their transition because they got poisoning through the breast milk. So I don't know. I don't know why I would think that, like, people getting bit by snakes would be common in India. I don't know why I would think it would shock the Indians, but the Indians were shocked according to the BBC. Not realizing she had been attacked, the woman began breastfeeding her child. Both died before they could reach a hospital. Oh, so rest in peace, to the mama and the baby. And she didn't realize she had been bitten. I didn't know you could get bitten by a snake and not know you were bitten by a snake. Now I know somebody who got bit by a brown, a brown recluse. I think it's called a brown recluse, which is a kind of spider. And they had like some major, serious, intense health issues. But I don't know nothing. I figure if a snake bites you, you'd be like, oh my God. But I guess not. And maybe the mama was just so tired. You know how it is for new mamas. I don't know. Tesla settles class action lawsuit over autopilot issues. Now, I hadn't noticed anything about Tesla, and then all of a sudden, I'm noticing Tesla all over the news. It seems like I had heard of Tesla, so I must have noticed something about them. But now I'm noticing that it seems like all of the articles seem sort of like, I'm not really impressed. Like they're like, oh, our workers don't need a union. Oh, they fighting with Consumer Reports. I like Consumer Reports. Oh, they got a class action lawsuit. It just seemed like they got a lot of mess and confusion going. Oh, the CEO had a Twitter storm. He was upset because trying to distract from some bull crap in his company by doing like Zero does. Y'all drive a Tesla? You know anything about Teslas? I'm not. Tesla is kind of getting the bad vibration. Thank you for the likes. Like, share, comment, subscribe. If you came in late, you can jump on and see the replay when I load it back up. Oh, and also hit the notification bell so that way you'll know when I'm going live, because you never know when I'm going to go live. All the way live. Is that a song? I keep meaning to look that up. All the way live. That sounds like maybe Earth Wind. I got to look it up. Or tell me. Let me know. Am I all the way live? Okay. So Tesla, boo. British men increasingly targeted by sextortion. So that's where someone entices you to do something sexual, I guess, via the internet, the intranets, the interwebs, through the interwebs, and then pay me well. No need for unions anymore. I feel like there is always a need for working together collectively and for sharing information collectively. Yeah. I feel like when they the owner and you the workers, y'all need each other. The little people, we gotta. There's been a threefold rise in the number of cases of sextortion. What up? What up? Stop the BS now. Stop the BS now. Right now. Stop it. Stop. I said stop it. There's been a threefold rise in the number of cases of sextortion being reported to police in the UK over the last 3 years, where criminals trick their victims into sexual activity online and then blackmail them. Experts say that the Ivory Coast, we did quite a var, the Ivory Coast, we've been going through the Al-Kibalan, different countries in Al-Kibalan. We want to go through all 54, plus there's some other miscellaneous things. So we've been going alphabetically. So we already did Cote d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast. I don't know how to say it in French. Lo siento, I'm so sorry. In West Africa has been a hot spot for the scammers. So anyway, that's what the article is about. So I guess maybe you could get like enticed or tricked into having sex, just like when somebody leaves like a key in the car and then they like film it. And then when the people come and they're like, oh my God, there's a key in the car. I'm going to steal this car. Everybody don't do it, but some people would do it. And then they're like, you're under arrest. It's kind of like entrapment. So I guess if you on your computer and somebody's like, hey, have sex with me. And some people would be like, okay. And then they feel like they got trapped, like it was entrapment. But I'm like, yeah. I guess that's how entrapment works. Hey, Frank G, what's up? So wolf-like creature shot near Montana ranch puzzles expert. So there's some experts. So there's some creature. They say it looked like a wolf, sort of, kind of, but not exactly. And they puzzled. It was shot by a ranch in Montana. They not sure what it is. So they're going to do some DNA analysis to try to figure out what it is. Oh, you can kind of see the smoke in the background. It smells smells good. My incense are almost burned out. And I think it kept the flies away a little bit. We haven't seen any flies, but now it's gonna smell real sweet. So there's probably gonna be like 80 flies, and I don't know where they are. It's a big house, so wherever they I don't know where they are, but I know when I come over here, they be here. Yeah, maybe I should have kept like a steady flow and just went from one incense to the next. But I'm gonna get some sage because I do like a sweet smell, but this is like it's very sweet. It's very intense. Um, so yeah, we don't know what the wolf like. Science experiment gone wrong. You know what I was thinking? I was thinking that, hey, waffle and chewy nanas. Waffle. Oh yeah, waffle and chewy nanas. I met you yesterday on is it Nikki Justice's stream? So I was thinking that it wasn't I don't it might be it's probably is a science experiment going wrong. But I just think that like we're like yes, there's wolves and there's this, and like maybe there's some other stuff because it isn't like a donkey or a mule, like a mix. One of them is a mix between a horse and the other one. I think a mule is a mix between a donkey and a horse. So maybe there are some other things that mix and match that we don't know about. I just think there's a lot that goes on in the world that we don't know about. Now we think we know everything, people. We just think we just know everything. But there's a lot that is seen. Some things are seen, some things are unseen, some things are known, some things are unknown, some things are named, like wolves, and some things are unnamed, like wolf-like creatures that were discovered in Montana, or a creature. So anyway, that's what I think. I don't know. Congress wants answers from Amazon on facial recognition technology. So we talked about it yesterday, the fact that Amazon is selling this facial recognition technology to the popo, and some of these Congress people are like, what Guan? What's going on? Why are you doing this? This is not legitimate. No, we need more information about what's going on. We trying to check you. We trying to do some checks and balances. I don't know. Sometimes Congress kind of seems kind of like weak to me. I guess increasingly more and more, I don't think Congress has ever been here for, my people. But I mean, I'm just looking at how it is for the white people. And it's like, I don't know. Is Congress here for the people? I think Congress is here for the corporations. I mean, I'm just saying, I don't know. So anyway, but I think this is a couple brown or progressive people trying to like check Amazon, but yeah. So anyway, Ramadan, a time for fasting. Does anybody celebrate Ramadan? A time for fasting, prayer, reflection, and laughs. Yes, capitalism over everything else. So this article is talking about the fact that, I've never celebrated Ramadan, but usually when I do a cleanse, well, actually, when I first started doing cleanses, I did cleanses strictly for nutritional, like for physical benefits. It wasn't until I was like doing a cleanse with my my now husband, and we would do them every quarter. I was already doing them every quarter, but when we started doing them together, his approach was way more spiritual than my approach. Just like when I became a vegetarian, I didn't become a vegetarian because I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to hurt the animals. But now that I've been a vegetarian for like 89 years, I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to hurt the animals. So it's like my sensitivity increased. And I noticed that with the cleanses as well. It's sort of like my spiritual, it's like I got more spiritually tuned in during the course of my cleansing. So, I guess that's why Ramadan is a type of cleansing or whatever. Yeah, it's been that like I really want to cleanse. I think that's a whole interesting. It's been for me, and it's also been like an interesting opportunity to mature and grow in ways that I never saw coming on the front end, but having done it for years, and I need to restart because I've been trying to figure out how can I make my mind stronger. And so there's some disciplines that I need to pick up, and that's one of them. So the next time that the seasons change, we about to come up on a season change. I'm about to do a cleanse. Anybody, if you think about doing a cleanse, we're going to do a cleanse together. So we're going to start with the change of season, and we're going to end with the first new moon of the next when we stop eating dead food. Yeah. And I mean, some of the stuff I eat is still dead, but it's just like, I think that, yeah. I think that I think that like every little drop of progress is actually progress. Like I think even if you're not like a raw foodist or just eating like live foods or whatever, like I think releasing even processed foods or releasing some sugar or just some like I think all of that stuff uh you get more tuned in, it improves you, it's better for you, your system, your spirit, your soul, your body, we benefit. So this article is talking about Ramadan. We typically think of it, or I guess people who practice it maybe think of it as fasting, prayer, and reflection, which those sound very honorable. But now every inch toward clean eating is great. Every inch toward clean living is great. Every step we make in the direction of good and God is great. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's how people typically think of Ramadan. But now I guess this article is talking about the fact that a lot of people are having more fun during Ramadan. So movie theaters are being fuller, and I think that was the main thing I read: comedies and movie theaters. Because I don't think people are getting together just to laugh, but maybe they are. Because when I think of Ramadan, I think of families breaking the fast together each night. So I would assume it would have already been social, but I don't know. But I think that laughter fits right in with fasting, prayer, and reflection. Now, sometimes people think, oh, if it's spiritual, you have to be like this. But I don't necessarily agree with that. I think that laughter is really healing, and I think that laughter is a great way to connect with love and God and all. I just have a whole different take on it. So sometimes, I'll be silly at times when people think you should not be silly. This is a somber, serious moment. And I'm like, please, that's just not, yeah. Okay, so anyway, Alexa's recording snafu was improbable but inevitable. So what they saying is that what had happened is that the people were talking and they said something that sounded sort of kind of like Alexa. So Alexa is like, "Huh? You talking to me?" And then when she said, "Hey, you talking to me?" They said something that sounded sort of kind of like yes. Maybe they were saying yes to each other. So Alexa thought they were talking to them, and then Alexa thought that they said send this voice memo to this person. And Alexa said, you want me to send a voice message to the person? And the people said yes. And so they saying what Amazon or whatever company is saying is that Alexa checked every step of the way and the people just didn't hear or understand. That just sounds like a really jacked up system to me. It seems like you need to have a better check and balance because it is like sort of the equivalent of a butt call on your cell phone, but you do have a lock on your cell phone. And maybe the lock on the cell phone developed because, when we first got cell phones, I don't know if you did it, but I accidentally called people. And then you start feeling like now it's sort of like when I go to talk about somebody. I never talk about anybody. But if I were to go to talk about somebody, I'm always like, I'll be like, oh, and then I'll be like, oh, hold on a second. Let me see if my phone is on. Because I still have that memory of, accidentally having called someone and being like, did I say anything about them that I wouldn't want them, that I wouldn't have said, you know. So I guess maybe they just have to get the system down, but it's kind of freaky to me, the idea that she's listening, all the time like that. That's kind of intense to me. I know some people love it and like it, but I just, yeah. And they person called them and they're like, unplug all of your Alexas right now before they even told them what was going on. AI testing in full force. And that same person or that same article said that they've woken up in the middle of the night with their Alexa laughing. If that's not disturbing, I don't know what is. No, maybe they were talking in they sleep and they said a joke and Alexa thought it was funny. I don't know. But that is really in full effect. It's in full effect. It's in full effect. And really quiet as it's kept. They say that any device that we have that has a camera or a microphone is not really quietly kept. Everybody knows it, but it's already been recording anyway. Our smart TVs, our smart refrigerators, our smart lamps. We have all of these smart, things out here that are doing the most smartness. So, The head of the Border Patrol Union called Trump's National Guard deployment a colossal waste of resources. You think? A woman made a racially offensive gesture at an Asian American man following an alleged road rage incident. Hell yeah. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And what else? Has he done anything positive or productive? Everything he does is a waste to me. I don't know. But yeah. Maxim LaRoche recreating Haiti's image, one Instagram post at a time. I'm not on Instagram, but if I was, I would want to see what images Maxim, Maxim, La Roche, or La Roche, I don't know how you pronounce it, Laroche, is putting up about Haiti, or how, I just think it's an interesting headline. It's coming off Creolicious, which is like this Haitian, pro-Haitian blog that I follow because I had decided that Haiti is, we need to get rid of her as soon as possible. If I can't bring charges against her, I don't want her in my house. They'll be laughing at me in the middle of the night. Yeah. It's weird because, well, I don't know if it's weird, but like some people are like they're really into the whole technology thing, and they like to try things and adapt things, and they're like right on the cutting edge. And then those of us who are like, I'm suspicious, I don't know, but it feels, and I don't know if it's true, but it feels like we are in that direction. Like it doesn't, like I feel like I can slow things down. Like I pay a lot of things in cash. Now I feel like I can do that for now, but I do feel like the world is heading toward a cashless society. Now maybe I'm wrong, and I just feel like Alexa is, or that type of technology, I just feel like it's here. It's the wave of the future. Like I try to fight the best way that I can, and entertain maybe the idea that I'm wrong. Me too, for the most part. But yeah. So if you're on Instagram, go check out Maxim LaRoche and let me know, because I started following Creolicious when I decided that Haiti was like my favorite, one of my favorite countries. It was like in my top 3. Yeah, that I love Haiti. I love Haiti. I say try it, learn it, study it, and then let it go. That's for all technology. Oh, that's an interesting perspective. Yeah. So that you're like aware of what's going on, but you're not dependent on it. And you're not locked in it. An Alabama teacher's attempt to publicly shame student goes terribly wrong. So this a girl saw on social media, I think her brother being shamed. I'm not sure if it was a black person or a white person, but it seemed like the child was taking the test and the person was like, "Yeah, try to." I can't. I started skimming the article, but I was in and out of range, so I couldn't really read it, and I couldn't really figure out what the. So let me pull it up, and I'll keep going. Black U.S. Coast Guard cadets achieve hashtag Black excellence and make history at graduation. It was a large class. I'm very ambivalent, and that's probably like a generous statement about Black folks being in the military. I feel like if you're a young person, we all, I mean, all of us, young and old, we all have to go on our path, and we have to do what we think. We have to make the best decisions that we can make for us. And so I can't tell you what you need to do, but it's just very hard for me to understand how the military is for me or my people. I haven't figured that out. And I don't think I am going to figure it out. But so I applaud, the young people, and I like the way that they were, yes, to military. I like the way that they work together, and they seem to have like a coherent thing going, like, yeah, we're all Black people doing it together. So that aspect I applaud. I know that when I was applying to schools, that a lot of the military academies, or maybe all of them, were hyper competitive to get into. And so, that might indicate that these young people were, exceptional in terms of their scholarship in this context. So I applaud that. But yeah, I'm ambivalent. So I got Okay, so that's just 10 claps and just a prayer that they continue to grow and develop, and that they are increasingly of service to their family, their community, and their people. Yay. They get increasing clarity. Um Jefferson Davis High School. First of all, who is Jefferson Davis? Isn't Jefferson Davis one of those yeah, we need it for the nation. See, and I did think about that earlier, but I had forgotten already. So you say yes to the military. I feel like yes to the knowledge, no to the brainwashing. And some knowledge, and but there are people, you hear stories all the time of people who have been immersed in the system, and then they're like, no, I'm here for my people. I'm not here for the system. But we also hear stories of people all the time who have been immersed in the system, and they like, I'm here for the system. I don't have my people, any people. My people are the cops. Like, so yeah. But we hold the vision for them of being, using their whatever skills they acquire in service to their community, our community. So these children went to a school called Jefferson Davis High School. I'm just really offended. I don't know who Jefferson Davis is offhand, but I think he's like a Confederate type person. So I'm like just already upset that a black child is going to the underrated darkness is going to a school called Jefferson Davis. I protest. Okay, so my protest is it's not over, but I mean that phase of the protest is over. I continue to protest in my spirit and my soul, but LaShawn, she had the nerve to sit and record my little brother. You can bet actions will be taken. So he was the only one in the class, and he's raising his hands, asking questions. And she says in the lesson, get that lesson, baby. You the only one. Get that lesson. That's what happens when NIGGAS be thinking you be playing. See, this teacher's good. Y'all know me. I'm petty. Hell no. He would get this at summer school. 20 days for 4 weeks. So some of the language makes me think that it's a black person. The other teacher, a male, can be seen cackling in the background as his colleague continues making fun of the student. She then moves closer, shoving her camera phone in the student's face as she tries to hide under the green hoodie. Oh, don't be shamed now. And we were talking yesterday about humiliation, and I think I saw in the comments where somebody is like, well, sometimes humiliation is good. I don't know. I glaringly unprofessional actions by a teacher. Yeah, so anyway, yeah. And then the person posted it, so they like, shame on you for posting it. They have social media reactions. So um armed bystanders gunned down Oklahoma City restaurant shooter. So somebody went into an Oklahoma City restaurant, or went to the doorway from what I read, and they shot in. And then two people who were in the restaurant or by the restaurant went to their cars. They weren't connected, but both of them had guns in their cars. They went and they got their guns, and then they shot the person and killed them. So I guess one thing is, I feel like I'm not really a fan of like just the wild wild west. Anybody out here? Oh, I shot Angela because she was shooting people, but now I'm dead and I can't say what had happened. So I don't understand. I feel like I'm not a fan of the police being judge, jury, and executioner. I know the system is flawed, but I feel like in theory, there need to be some checks and balances. So I'm definitely not a fan of just some random people on the street coming out here murdering people because they're like, he was shooting people. Now the cops were like, oh, that's good. He did a good thing. Which, when do I care what the cops think, or what, their opinion don't mean nothing to me. I'm not impressed by them, but I'm just like, I did not like this story. And I don't like the idea that like, yeah, everybody get a gun, and when you see somebody, you just take it into your own hands. So I don't know. Yeah, and then the way it was reported, and the cops were like, they did good. I didn't like it. Um, I feel like it's enough. It's enough. Hey, Talisa Ray, I hope you feeling better, sis. If anybody has content on on their channel. Shout yourself out. Everybody go check out everybody's channel. If you're watching on the replay, go check out people's channels, like, subscribe, all of that other good stuff. So you can shout out, what you do on your channel. I was watching one of your, I lots, thank you. Oh, you're feeling lots better. I thought you were like, I do lots on my channel. Thank you. I was watching, but I commented on the review. I try to comment so I watch when I watch. Student and teacher injured, suspect in custody after shooting at middle school in Noblesville, Indiana, police say. No content here. So another school shooting. We've received such a raw deal here in this country, so much so I love me a Charles Bronson type folk. I don't know who Charles Bronson type folk are. Who is Charles? I don't know who Charles Bronson is. Should I be ashamed? I'll pretend to be ashamed in case I should. I might have to look it up. Man is heard screaming for his mother. He's an actor, I think, as police beat him for failing to use his turn signal to his own home. So first of all, I'm not a fan of the headline, the title, because I feel like the police did not beat the man for failing to use the turn signal. The police beat the man because they're animals, they're savages, and they're crazy. I mean, that's like, yeah. Where in your law in this country does it say if somebody failed to use your turn signal, beat them? They don't do that to white people. I'm assuming this is a black person, but anyway. And if they do it, oh, that's a new one. Is it new? It seemed like the same old SSDD, same stuff, different day, or some variation of the same stuff on a different day. So, and then the man is heard screaming for his mother. I saw that. It was disheartening as usual. Yeah, so the man was heard screaming for his mother. It's a black teen. Okay, yeah. So, we've been talking about it, and maybe these children in the military, because I told, like, probably about 2 months ago or a month ago, I was all on this shock and awe. Like, this is part of a shock and awe campaign. I heard somebody say shock and awe campaign. I'm like, what's a shock and awe campaign? And then I looked at it, lots of excuse, but the turn signal is a first. Oh, okay. Because it seemed like they're like, you didn't signal within 100 feet of turning, so that's why we pulled you over. And now that we pulled you over, we got to kill you or shoot you or tase you or beat you or humiliate you or whatever. But so this whole like shock and awe and this the shock and awe campaign is where you just start to feel overwhelmed, like it's just thing after thing after thing, and you're like, my enemy is just so much better than me, they're just so much more powerful than me, they have everything over me and I have nothing, there's nothing I can do, so womp womp, I just quit, I give up, I'm just shocked and awed and I can't even begin to fight. And so I feel like I just want to like restate for my record that we continue to fight. And let's please call it what it is. Cops assaulted. I'll have to look at it the next time something comes up. But, we continue to fight. We don't have any choice but to continue to fight. A child in the first degree criminal charges, please. Operation Shock and Awe was when Bush invaded Afghanistan. And apparently it's not a new, like that, it was, Shock and Awe was used, that technique, that military technique. We were talking about the children in the military, cadets. Some military college, I can't even remember now what it is, but that's a technique that's been used throughout history, not just with Bush or but it has been used. I did a little bit of research on it, but like I just feel like, as disheartening as it is, as discouraging as it feels, as demoralizing as it can feel, like may we push through to no, that wasn't off topic. We kicking it. We good. It ain't, yeah. As however it feels, let's know that God, that there are other things going on that we can't see, that we can't understand, and that we have to push through the appearance of things to the truth of things. And the truth is that we're winning, and the truth is that we're victorious, and the truth is that justice is served. Like, the truth is not that, we just like, yeah, the truth is that truth and love and justice is served and wins. So even if it doesn't appear that way, even if we can't consciously see it, we just be encouraged and trust God and trust good and look for it. Look for the signs of that, not the signs designed to demoralize us. And peace and love and healing to that child. Um, why they say man if it was a teen anyway? Um, just peace and healing to that child and his family and to all of our community, and may we increasingly, be aware that, we are winning. JCPenney CEO Marvin Ellison resigns to take over. He might be 19, 20, or 21. Oh, he's a young man, but still a teen. I hear what you're saying. Yeah. Takes over to take over at Lowe's. So, okay, so I don't know. Oh, this is coming off of Mogadum, so he's probably black. Marvin Ellison. So I don't know. When I used to read, not what is that, Black Enterprise, I kept thinking Black Excellence. I used to like to see like the promotions and the movements, and like I don't know why it just seemed interesting to me. I didn't, I wasn't really corporate, but it was fascinating to me. So the 2018 hurricane season begins in less than a week, and early forecasts predict more storms than average. Again, I used to get that magazine too. Yeah. I don't know if I ever got it, but it seemed like somehow, somewhere I used to read it regularly, but I don't know if I ever got it. And then yeah. So I don't know what to say about hurricane season coming again. Like, I just feel like I haven't even exactly mentally recovered from, like it's Puerto Rico. Like, it just seems like it's still in conversation. And, maybe it just hit closer to home to me last year than, in years past, because maybe people who live in the Caribbean are constantly forever dealing with it. I'm not really sure. But I just feel like, whew, all the stuff we dealing with, and we got hurricane season coming up, and it does feel kind of stressful. Like last year, for like, I can't remember what island it was, but it was some island that I was like paying attention to, and it got hit like twice, and it was like a small island. And at first the president was like everybody was okay, and then people are like everybody is not okay, we haven't heard from anybody in 12 hours. And it was like it wasn't Trinidad and Tobago, but it was like an island that was like one country but two islands. And it wasn't Barbuda. It might have been Barbuda. I have to look it up now, because now that we're thinking about it, and it was like, for whatever reason, I got fixated on that little island, and it was like a small number of people, and it just seemed like, oh my gosh. So anyway, prayers out for us as and you didn't hear about it anymore after PR, right? And I barely heard about it then. Yeah, after Puerto Rico. So just, prayers out to all of us, because, yeah. Africa's week in pictures. I didn't check out the pictures, but I like to look at pictures. I like pretty pictures. I took 57 painkillers a day to get high. That's a lot. That's like the opioid epidemic, right? That's just the headline. I was just like 57. It just kind of, I was shocked and awed. Damn. Right. I was like, whoa. So I didn't read the article. It's coming off of BBC. Why DR Congo is confident that it will halt Ebola. I saw somebody had a video out saying that Ebola is fake or something. I haven't watched it, but I've been watching these articles about Ebola. And then the last time we talked about it, it was like, oh, the World Health Organization is there with some experimental drugs. And I'm like, oh, they wanted to test some drugs on some black folks. That's what, like, y'all know I'm cynical about stuff like that. I do not trust the World Health Organization. They have known, it's been shown that when they out here giving people vaccines, sometimes they be testing, you know, Ebola is man-made, like the HIV virus, right? So like, what's really going on? Like, that's when I kept seeing Ebola. I'm like, what's really going on? So yeah, so I haven't read the article. Vibes Cartel slammed. I don't know who Vibes Cartel is. Slammed for bleaching skin after he gets up in arms over black women wearing weaves. Oh, I think I read this article or skimmed it, and he was like, 99% of black women wear weaves. And dang, I just clicked it. Because he was like, first of all, I was like, now where did he get that percentage from? I don't quite think that's accurate. Maybe the world I lived in is skewed, but I was kind of like, huh? Um, oh, right, 99.99. So I'm like, he's kind of dramatic. 99.99% of black women wear weaves. Dang. Cream their hair or wear Caucasian wigs. They braid their hair, put glue on it, and cover it with a wig made from white women hair. So he like just going, he just mad at the black women. But meanwhile, I guess the people are upset at him because they like, you dating you a fucking oops, excuse me, is he Jamaican? Yes, I think he's a dance hall king. I think he's like a dance hall person. You a effing hypocrite too, with white lab rat in something. So, oh my anyway, I don't know even how this got on my news feed, but it caught my attention. But yeah. uh Right, because in the way it's filed, it's Black Women Weaves, King of Dance Hall, Skin Bleaching, and Vibes Cartel. Um, I hadn't been to a dance hall in a long time. Back in the day, my first husband was Jamaican, but he wasn't like all off into fam, fam, fam. What up? You talk about you like this busted old gift. No, I didn't think that. I saw your comment when I was getting on the internet, getting on live today. So that's it for the notes that I had. No, I thought the song was very nice. I thought it was very nice, and I liked it. As I'm not like a rap connoisseur. I can't like critique it like as a, you know, but I liked it. It sounded good to me. So we're finished with that segment. Now we move on to the part. Hey, Sonia Sees, welcome. Now we move on to the part where when time permits, we are covering countries from Al-Kibalan. So the last country that we did was it Djibouti? It must have been Djibouti because we ain't done Egypt yet, and Egypt is next in the alphabet. Oh, we were doing Djibouti and we got disturbed because they said that the Djibouti was both arid and humid. And the people are like, is it arid or humid? It can't be arid and humid because that's two different things. And I was like, really? I've been suspicious. But anyway, I haven't had a chance to get another alternative. So if you want to, what do you know about Egypt? When you think of Egypt, do you think of it in the context of Africa or do you think of it in the context of the Middle East? When I came into consciousness, we claimed Egypt as our, it's like ancient Egypt, Black folks, So I was kind of surprised when I saw white people who were like all into Egypt. I'm like, why are they all into Egypt? I didn't realize that there was a whole thing where white people claim, and then like in the movies, yeah, Al-Kibalan, Africa. Oh, you think of it in the context of Africa. Yeah. The Arab American Museum here, I think it's really interesting because they have the continent of Africa as their whatever. It's a whole nother story. Okay, ancient Egypt was an ancient civilization in eastern North Africa concentrated along the lower reaches of the Nile River in what is now the modern nation of Egypt. The civilization began around 3150 BC. Okay. Something declined during which Egypt was conquered by a succession of foreign powers. The rule of the pharaohs officially ended in 31 BC. Where in the world is Iyapo? You haven't seen him anywhere today? This is my first time on. Are you having a question because of those dates? Because I had a question about the dates, but I'm not really clear about the whole BC Arabs in the 7th century. Okay, so we got to put I saw that. You saw what? Okay. Oh, he's on the information. Okay, so he out here in these YouTube streets. Okay. The The rule of the pharaohs officially ended in 31 BC. In pre-dynastic and early dynastic times, the Egyptian climate was much less arid than it is today. Large regions of Egypt were covered in treed savanna and traversed by herds of grazing ungulates. That's not snitching. I can't hunt the man down, so if he alive, I'm not gonna harass him. But we would, well, yeah. Even if something happened, what can we do through through the interwebs? Pray, just pray. Okay. Um, Foliage and fauna were far more prolific in all environs and the Nile region. Egypt is famous for its ancient civilization and some of the world's most famous monuments, including the who are the Hebrews? It be so much going on in this YouTube world. I don't be knowing what's going on. I can't keep up with all of it. Let me just stay focused on what I'm doing. Okay, Egypt is widely regarded as an important political and cultural nation of the Middle East. Egypt possesses one of the most developed economies in the Middle East, with sectors such as tourism, agriculture, industry, and service, bordered by the Mediterranean Sea to the north, the Gaza Strip in Israel to the northeast. I guess I should have known that, because since we've been talking about Israel in the news, I have heard them mention Egypt. But I'm so geographically just ignorant. It's so much I don't know. It's like a big world out there to me. And I can barely get around Detroit, let alone, yeah. Some people are directionally oriented. I'm not. Sudan to the south and Libya to the west. Oh, Sudan. Ancient Egypt was okay, we talked about that. A coherent political entity with a recorded history since about 3200 BC. Second most populous country after Nigeria. So if we had a trivia thing, what country is the most populous country in the continent of Africa? The Nubians and the Southern Sudanese, who are the real descendants. That's why I was kind of like, oh, Sudan is right there. Yeah. No, Nigeria. We just said it. First is Nigeria and second is Egypt. That's according to this. We probably need to double check. Yeah, I heard Sonya C's naming that song, and I liked how it was. I have to listen to it again, but it was kind of like smooth and fun. Like I thought it was really clever, and I had fun with it. You didn't hear it, girl? Okay. Conscious of Genocide has music. He does freestyles on he does freestyles on his channel, so he has a freestyle, and B-Fab is featured in it among 29 other people. I once dated this guy probably about 15, 20 years ago, and he was like 18 or 19. He was like really, really young. He was really, really young. And he was a musician. He was like African, and he was over here for something, and I met him. And we dated for like 2 seconds because he was just so hot and heavy. And he would like write songs for me. It was very intense. I was kind of like, oh, it's too much. I can't. It's too much. It's too much. He was very intense. And I think after that, I don't know if I ever dealt with anybody like much younger than me. He might have been 5 or 10 years younger than me, but it was enough to freak me out. The Southern Sudanese were the original Egyptians forced further south by vicious invaders. Yo ass hard-headed, Sonya. And I think that we talked about probably about 2 or 3 weeks ago, maybe a month or so ago, about this deliberate flooding of the Nile and how this flooding has caused a lot of artifacts to be lost. A lot of the artifacts that they say are lost are artifacts that establish that the original people of that region were Black folks. that you know, the theory of this article, at least I don't know, that was the first I had heard of it, is that it was like in an effort to sort of whitewash or Arab wash that region of the world. You know, that's what some of this flooding was about. So that was kind of like, oh, you know, I hadn't really heard that. um The Egypt solo dance form has become popular outside the country and is both taught and performed widely, including in the UK. Oh, ballet. Yeah, you know, they're probably talking about belly dance. Now, when I studied belly dance, I told y'all just the other day, I love my teacher because she went to Egypt to study and she was like very African centered. She was like, you know, a black woman, but she like looked at it as like an African dance form, which was, you know, it's hard to find anybody who, you know, it was, but then it was a wonderful experience. I love seeing the women come into the class. It's like no matter what size or shape, it's like after a few weeks, after you could just see like the femininity and the gracefulness, like just evolve. It was just beautiful. I have to give it to the South Sudanese. They refuse to be Arabinized. Right, be you. Why you want to be somebody else? I'm gonna turn this light on. Although we about to go. I'm about to go. I'm gonna do this. Hold on. Okay. Cairo is the capital city of Egypt. It's a fabulous city, according to this. Um, Triumphant of, or the vanquisher. That's what the name means. Hey, Mary Jane. It's a land where some of the oldest monuments in the world are found. The ancient pyramid and temple complexes is bursting at the seams. Um, the League of Arab States. It's a member of the League of Arab States. The most populous country in the Arab world and the second most populous in the African continent. What's the first most populous country in the African continent? In Nigeria. We talked about it. Okay. The flag of Egypt, we didn't look at that, is three equal horizontal bands of red at the top, white and black, with the national emblem centered in the white band. Okay. So I mean Kenya. I did yeah. Okay, so that's it. Continue. We need to do independent research, but you know, so if you come up with any information or anything that you'd like to share about any of the countries that we've talked about or any of the countries that we haven't talked about, drop it in the comments. What you looking forward to? I asked you when we started, what's new and good? Drop that in the comments. What's exciting? What's coming up? If you're in this region of the country, continuing to work on organizing a trip to the Jim Crow Museum at Ferris State University, which is pretty close to the historic Idlewild. Look up Idlewild, Michigan. It's been a retreat community, primarily, overwhelmingly a Black retreat community in Michigan for a while. So I don't really know very, very much of the history. Do ya, do ya, do ya? I love just the same, Mary Jane. Oh, is that on the in the rap too? Everybody in the rap? Oh shoot. So yeah. Share it, share whatever exciting is going on. If you have a business to promote, your page to promote, drop that in the comments. If you've been to any wonderful businesses, Black businesses in your community that you want to shout out, go ahead and shout them out. Rick James, crazy lady. Oh, Rick James. Dang, I can't bring up Mary J, but I have heard that song before. I didn't even think about it. Okay, my energy creates my reality. What I focus on is what I will manifest. My energy creates my reality. What I focus on is what I will manifest. So when you look at your reality, what has your energy created? What are you focusing on? Because what you're focusing on is what you'll manifest. If you're focusing on BS, you're going to manifest more BS. If you're focusing on being depressed, you're going to manifest more depression. This is coming off from a deck called The Universe Has Your Back. And I think now that my screen has flipped around, you probably can't read it. I guess you could just enjoy the artwork. But my energy creates my reality. What I focus on is what I manifest. So I'm focusing on my next step. Yes, yes. And let's focus on, victory. Let's focus on love. Let's focus on, they say that what you focus on grows. Let's focus on what we want to grow. Don't let somebody else set your agenda and get you focusing on what they want to grow. Focus on what you want to grow, what benefits you, what benefits your family, what benefits your community, what makes you feel good. Focus on that. So that's it. Today is the best day ever, and you are the greatest. You are the number one stunner. Hey, I heard somebody say that in real time. I'm like, that's an old expression, but I can't remember where I was, but I heard somebody say that. I'm like, oh, people out here using that expression. I thought I got that from the old folks. I thought I was bringing it back. You hear that? Focus on us, love. Okay. Let me get out of grown folks' business. Give me my residuals. I'm broke. So I guess, yep, that's what I got. Oh, no, that's not what I got. I got one more thing. This is the theme song. So what y'all got up for this weekend? Y'all barbecuing? Y'all having big family events, family affairs, spending time with people? Be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous you. Be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous you. This is the countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Movie tomorrow and not sure after that. What you going to see? Be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous you. Hey! All right. That's what I got. Avengers. Okay. That's like some people were calling it Black Panther. Don't you leave us. Shoot, I'm about to go eat. I went back to the salt room today, so I'm about to go eat. I'm about to go, am I white? I probably got salt like all over me. But I'm gonna go wash, eat, all of that other stuff. Thank you for coming into the live stream. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, good people. Be blessed to be a blessing. Know that you are loved and supported and that the world is wonderful. Thank you, Sonia. Peace, peace, peace and love, fam. Now, when I was doing that song, that's when everybody is supposed to be later, everyone. Doing these things. Because I hate to hang up when people are still talking. Okay, later. Peace. Bye, Mary Jane. Yeah, maybe I'll get to catch up on some videos. Because I've been going since the crack of dawn. All right. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace.